So, this is something rather unexpected. As you can probably tell from the title and the runtime of this video, this isn't going to be the typical Funderworld video that I typically put out on this channel. The reason for that being is because I'm actually visiting Funderworld after the Easter holidays, and although it's a Sunday, it is not as big of a turnout as it has been previously. You'll see why when I get up to the top of the funhouse later on, so you can see that practically everything here today has, even though a lot of rides have been full to the brim, thankfully riding at full capacity, but however, every single thing here today so far has been a walk-on. Now, given the lower than anticipated visitor numbers, I'm not really 100% confident in doing the usual stuff that I keep doing previously. So instead, I'm going to try something different and do a vlog for this channel. Now, normally I would like to do stuff for this channel as well as have the vlog for the Theme Park Euphoria channel. However, because of not only the turnouts day, but also because of some project deadlines that I've got to finish up on, and the fact that I do need to leave Funderworld a lot earlier than I normally, because I like to stay around until closing, but because of a lot of project deadlines I got on me, I'm not able to simply do that, so I'm quite tight for time. So I've decided to do this instead. Anyway, so I also thought this would be a good, so if I know I made that video in March about contemplating about the future of this channel, so if I do end up going in this direction, this would actually give a good taster of what you can expect from me if I do go down this path, where this kind of thing would be a weekly thing in 2026. But until then, I'm going to get to the top of the Bavarian Funhouse, just so you can see why I've decided to do this, and let's go and check out and explore Funderworld Bristol 2025. Yeah, so to give an idea as to why I'm doing this, I'll just do a pan around, but the gates opened nearly 15 minutes ago, and although there is a handful of people, it is just, I don't feel it's enough to warrant doing what I'm usually doing, because Stealth Bomber, when that's a walk-on, that really says a lot about the turnout. So I guess that's good for me because it means more ride time. But I'd imagine by 5 o'clock, also it's a Sunday, the Easter holidays are finished. That would explain why there's not as many people out there as there typically is. And nowhere near like the turnout when I came here in April last year due to the Eid Mubarak celebrations. But yeah, even though there is a handful, all the rides are practically just walk-on, and I'd imagine that's going to be like that throughout the day, so hence the reason why I'm doing this vlog instead of doing the usual stuff I usually do on this channel. So I'm on the 3rd floor of, can't really quite see the logo, well there's the Bavarian, so this is the Bavarian Funhouse that I'm on at the moment. I'll have to double check whose this is. It's definitely not Gilbert Chadwick's because there are some key differences to the design of that one and this one, so I'll have to double check the ride listing to see whose this is. It will down be in the bottom corner there as to whose funhouse this is. Anyway, so yeah, so I decided to give this a try because normally I don't think I have ever put a vlog out on the Funfair Euphoria YouTube channel, so this could be quite interesting. Also give a good taster as to what you'd expect if I shift into this kind of direction next year. Now Crazy Mouse just over there, that looks like it's a walk-on, and that, by the time I get in here, it's usually rammed with a queue. So given that the turnout isn't as big as I expected it to be, even though you still got people coming in the gates, yeah, so not even 2 o'clock yet, so let's hop on Crazy Mouse while there's barely a queue. Okay, so there are quite a handful of people in the queue, but I'd imagine that's not even going to be a long wait time. But Crazy Mouse, I didn't get to do this last year because of how rammed it was due to the Eid Mubarak celebrations. And I love a good Revachon spinning coaster, so while it is so quiet, let's have a hop on Crazy Mouse. Okay, so an abrupt start on Crazy Mouse. And I think there was more time waiting on the ride itself rather than in the queue. So the queue itself was quick. So yeah, given how long it could have been, I'm glad I got onto this and I'm glad that I'm able to do this because I do love these coasters. Pinpoint. Yeah, so the car park in the distance, I was literally the only one when I first got here. Here comes the way. One more turn to the drop. Now there's 4. Normally I end up riding these solo, so given that we've got 4 people in this car, curious to know what the turn will be, or how many spins we will get. Here it comes. Ah, there we go. Yeah, so despite how boisterous this type of coaster can be, they are still so much fun. I'm glad that I got on Crazy Mouse in the end, because there is a little bit of a queue the starting's built up, but then again, it typically does, given how much of a fun family coaster that is. So Crazy Mouse enjoyed that. Now right next to it, which is interesting because normally it's further down there, is the Red Devil Technical Park Loop Fighter. Now this is also a walk-on, and as you can see, there is no queue at all. So while there is absolutely no wait time, let's get on Red Devil. I have no idea why, but I just love the sound that hydraulic system makes when it lowers the floor. Anyway, here we are on Red Devil, which is the second loop fighter that Darren Jr. has owned. That being with... Oh, there's the control box. I wonder where that was, as the pay box wasn't next to it. Anyway, I'm always a sucker for loop fighters, because I know that there's a bit of a battle between the KMG inversions and this, which is a technical park loop fighter, but I'm very, very torn between the two, because they both offer very good experience, no denying that. Anyway, remember, this being the second loop fighter that Darren has owned, along with No Limits, who, on that note, there is somebody in the UK who I am trying to convince to make currently have it, but I don't want to give away too much out. Oh, we got some good hang time there. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's focus on the now. Now, when the car's unlocked, what type of forces are we going to experience this time round? Or are we not just yet, or are we going over again? I guess this is also the benefit of it not being so busy, it means longer cycles. Because obviously with so many people that events like Funderworld have to go through, they have to shorten the cycles to eat through the queues. But with not so many people here today, okay, so it's not swinging at 90 degrees, it's slowing down. Which means that the cars aren't going to unlock. Oh well. Yeah, so I know a technical park control box when I see one, just the overall design of it, the layout. I saw one on a giant wheel recently in Bristol, and I could tell immediately that that was technical park from the control box. Anyway, that was Red Devil. Yeah, so despite the cars not unlocking on that one, it is still overall a really good ride experience. Now I know you can't really see it out in the sun, but the RGB light package on this has single-handedly one of the best I've ever seen in the UK. And given that pixels are not the most pleasant of light packages to work with, because I work with them myself and I can concur, they are really difficult to get right. But I believe it was Fun LED, the Italian company, that did this, and they've done a phenomenal job on this light package. So yeah, Red Devil I have huge admiration for. So that one being done, so we've got two of Elliot Cubbins' machines. So we've got one, which I will get to in a bit, but I also want to get back on this, because it's been 8 years since I last rode this, and this is Stealth Bomber. Now this last attended Funderworld back in 2017, where I last rode it. However, the last time I did see this was at the Hoppings in Newcastle, coming up to 2 years ago. Now, this would normally be absolutely rammed, but given that it's a walk-on, yeah, that's really, I think that really says a lot about how tame it is in terms of turnout of punters. So with there not being so many, let's hop on Stealth Bomber. Alright, so this is it, Stealth Bomber, the first time I've been on this in 8 years. Now, I do have a soft spot for fabric boosters, mainly because of how much smoother they are. Because the KMG speeds have a tendency to be a bit more boisterous. There's Equinox down there. I will definitely be getting to that after the Super Trooper once I've done this one. Very excited about that one. Okay, yeah, so 40 meters high. Got quite a good view, although I don't have my glasses on, so I can't quite see it very clearly. But when it comes to the Fabry boosters, the seating has a tendency to be a lot more ergonomic and a lot friendlier to larger riders like myself. Because KMG machines in general have a tendency to not be large rider friendly. I do fit on most of them, but in some cases like the early freakouts, for example, the safety cylinders have to go down to a certain point. So I do fit on them, but the safety cylinders on them are like, nope, out. I probably said that in the wrong context. But what I'm trying to say is that the safety cylinders will be like, nope, you're not getting on. That's practically what I was saying, in case I kind of slipped my words a little bit then. But anyway, as for the fabric boosters, they're a lot more. There's some key differences in the design of this one, because I think in terms of the overall shape of the seats, the safety bars as well are also play a huge part in how much more ride friendly these are compared to the KMG Speed, which have a tendency to not be ride friendly. Now Equinox, interestingly, is surprisingly very large rider friendly. That I definitely want to get on because I'm very excited for, but I'm going to stop recording for a bit because I don't want to drain the camera battery and just admire the views before we get going here on Stealth Bomber. Well, that was funny. As soon as I just stopped pressing the record button, we start going. Nonetheless. Now the thing about KMG machines is that they have a tendency to be a lot more boisterous and a lot more high speed and a lot more high energy, whereas the Fabric boosters on the other hand, although they are fast, they have a tendency to be phenomenally smooth, and I think that's probably the great thing that sets two things apart. If you're after something more intense, the KMG speeds are definitely the way to go, but if you're after something a lot more smoother, the Fabric boosters are definitely the way to go in that field. Oh, I saw Equinox going up, so I can't wait for that one. We're getting up to speed. Also, what's great is having two people behind me on this carriage, which means I'm not leaning forwards, and it means I get more rolls. Starting to slow down now. Oh. That was brilliant. That was of course stealth from her. So what I experienced there perfectly sums up why I do have a really soft spot for Fabric boosters in terms of how smooth they are. Yeah, but the one variant of this, I have experienced the 40 meter version, which is what this one is, as well as the Booster Max, which is the 16 seater 55 meter one. The one variant that I'm always curious about is the 27 meter version, because I'm curious to know how it's not just in terms of riding and handling experience, but also in terms of build up and travelling. So I would like to see a 27 meter Fabric machine over here if one does pop up for sale second hand, or if somebody in the UK does get one brand new. Anyway, that was Stealth Bomber. Now moving on, going from a veteran to Funderworld to a ride that has not actually made its appearance here at Funderworld before. So this is the Super Trooper of Elliot Cubbins. Now Elliot, I believe, acquired this back in December. I believe he's had it for about 5 months now. Now this was the 4th Super Trooper built, and actually there's a spare seat going. So I'm gonna stop that on because I want to rush that one and get on the chance while it's practically walk on, because I don't want somebody to beat me to it. Anyway, let's get on Super Trooper. Just about got the last seat on this one. Anyway, here we are on Elliot Cubbins' Super Trooper. Now, the last time I actually saw this and ridden it was Exeter Winter Wonderland back in 2021, and that was when it was, I believe it was only 6 months old then, and at the time it was operated by Perrin Stevens' team. But this one was originally ordered by and for James Dancer, and you can also tell because that blue on the chassis, that's a Dancer blue. That definitely would have been for a Dancer if you had looked at that chassis colour. But it went on to be unknown to Henry Studd, then Charles Cole, and this was at one point the same Super Trooper that was at Alton Towers as Funk and Fly, because you had this one which operated there for 2 seasons, but prior to that, in 2021, was the one built by, it was the 3rd one built by PWS, and was the one for David Irvin, which was good to see that out on the road. And it's also good to see this out travelling. Yeah, so I truly believe that this is a better machine than it was when I last went on it at X2 in terms of the drive system being updated, because that really has had an impact on the overall ride experience, and that has improved it phenomenally. So there was the Super Trooper. Great to get on that one. Now, I don't have plans of getting on this, but I do want to quickly show off something. And if you've been a regular to any of Dental Dancer's grounds, or grounds that Dental Dancer has opened, it's these. So these were the splats. I don't know if you can see it because I don't know how the sun is, but I'll just try and get a bit closer. But yeah, those were the splats that were originally on Dental Dancer's Sizzler, and now Stacey Squires has got them on the Crazy Cage. And what's also interesting is because this also used to be Dental Dancer's machine, although he only had that for a couple of years, and now here they are. So former Dental Dancer splats on a former Dental Dancer owned machine. There we have Crazy Cage. I don't tend to ride roundups that much because of how sick I do get on them, but this was the Funhouse that I went on at the start of the video, which was the Bavarian Funhouse. Really beautifully presented as well, and love the Funhouse lighting in the just about see it down there. Now, this has a tendency to be very, very popular. I was just wondering who's mining this actually. And what's also interesting is this is on a different position than what it used to be previously, because during the Easter event it would be down, because I don't know if you can see it down there, the wave swinger, which I'll get to later, but this is down here for one. From what I've been told by Ashton, who normally mines it, he's mining it, Ashton. But the Ultimate Waltzer would normally be down that side, because it has opened up there where Red Devil is. But the reason for it being here is because the amount of complaints it gets from the resident that lives in the council estate over there, and all the other machines they get no complaints from. This, of all things, they get complaints about, and it's not hard to see why with the way that Ashton is mining it, because he mines this phenomenally. Anyway, while this is also a walk-on, like pretty much everything else is here, let's have a hop on Ultimate Waltzer. So there were quite a few people in the queue, and it was a walk-on.
Let's go, let's release the brakes.
A bit of Tom Nosey with your body. The Ultimate Waltzer. Something about your body. I really want to win nobody. I don't want nobody, baby.
We are the UK's number one, let's go.
Something about your body. I have to think very monotone, otherwise I'll brush my throat. Also, I can't hit the high notes, but toppy as people like to say. Ask somebody.
Hey, do you want to go faster? I said, do you want to go faster? Yeah. First, hands in the air, let's go.
Oh wow.
Let's rock your boy.
Oh wow. Well, this is...
Come on, let me hear you make some noise. Let's go. You alright?
Uh-oh.
Stay in your seats, please. Stay in your seats.
Well, somebody didn't enjoy that by the looks of it. And there we have it back. Oh, there's a mini wheel behind there.
We're going to take our time and make you lose your eye. Let's go.
There's also another juvenile I just noticed. I'm wondering...
Hands in the air. Somebody scream out there!
Oh my god! Oh my god, a jungle anthem! Oh my god! Oh! I don't normally film the top canopies when I'm on waltzes. It's very interesting looking up. Well, that was interesting, considering that Ashton wasn't spinning the cars at the start of that cycle. There were some very, very good spins. And I know that people give the fair trade machine some slack, but regardless of everyone likes it or not, these are the waltzers of the future. And they do offer a very, very smooth... I'm a little bit worn out after that cycle, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, so always enjoy Ultimate Waltzer, as always, good cycle on that. Now, coming to the one ride, honestly feels like a fever dream, because it's been a dream for many enthusiasts in the UK for this to come back to the UK, and that is the Equinox KMG Tango. Now, I never saw this while Billy Crow had it, because I didn't really travel as much to fairs at the time he sold it. But I just still can't get over this, because it just still doesn't feel real. Equinox is back in the UK, and Christopher Dancer did the one thing that most people probably thought wouldn't actually happen, and that was buy it. But I am thrilled it's back. And this is only the second time I've actually seen it.
Ready for the next one.
The first time was actually Nottingham Goose Fair back in October, and that was the very first time I saw and ridden this. And with that cycle done, let's hop on the next one.
Yes, we're back on time, riders. Here we go.
And here we go. The truly moving experience that is Equinox. Now, what's interesting about the Tangos is the standing setup, because I know that to a lot of people it's a bit like roadkill downstairs, but for me it's fine. I don't know why that is, maybe because of my build, or probably because I've got slightly thick thighs. But no, we're just getting warmed up.
I regret my life! I don't want to do this anymore! Oh my god!
Somebody has already regretted their decisions, but not me.
I'm so sorry, by the way.
That's fine.
I think I'm gonna die.
You're not gonna die.
I think I will, man. Oh my god! This is worse than Samurai.
And that wasn't even ran at full power.
What?
Because on that note, there was a top scan that did open up here while Joe William Whiteleg had, and that demonstrated how a top scan should be ran.
Oh my god.
Would be great to see one of those here again. But this, I think, tops the top scan in terms of intensity. Mind you, top scans, when ran well, can be quite boisterous.
I'm going to take. No, that's worse. No, I'm sorry, it's that is oh, my mouth is doing it. Oh my god! I'm sorry! Lily, I love you! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! Oh my god! I'm gonna die!
You're not gonna die!
Where I go? I'm gonna match these!
Woo!
I got my face! Lily! Are you pissed me? Lily! I need you!
Oh my! Wow, that was.
Oh my god!
Now, when it comes to centralising, now that we've finished that cycle, I don't know if you can hear it, but there will be a click at the end of the. There was a slight jolt. Now that is a mechanical locking system, and the reason it needs that is because of the size of the platform. Now the platform, in comparison to other KMG Tangos, is actually not smaller, and the reason for that being is because of size. The size of the positions in the UK have their limits, so this complies, and this will allow it to fit on a large portion of the positions at the likes of the back end fairs and a lot of major fairs. So that smaller platform, in comparison to the likes of what the one that Perrin Matthews had the standard size for a KMG Tango. But that smaller platform allows it to fit on more positions in the UK, which means more people get to experience this beast. Right. I can't even begin to describe how good it feels to finally get back on this. Having experienced it twice at Nottingham Goose Fair in October, I love this thing. It's definitely one of the most intense rides I have been on, without a doubt. Now, the thing I was also mentioning about the side position is the reason why it needs that locking system at the end of the arm on the turret is because you can see from the spacing there that it cannot free spin. So it needs that locking system at the end of the arm so that it doesn't end up free spinning because of the side, which I believe was at Billy's request, because KMG don't normally make platforms for Tangos on this size, but this was specifically designed at Billy's request when he did get it brand new. So that's quite interesting. But nonetheless, Equinox, where have you been? Okay, I know where you've been, but it's great to have you back. Now, with Equinox done, Air Max, I will be getting to that later, definitely. But actually, while it's right in front of me and it is a walk-on, there's Ricky there. See, Ricky's minding it. So, onto Darren's Sizzler, which is practically, I keep saying another walk-on, but everything's a bloody walk-on. Why do I keep saying it's a walk-on? I'm so redundant. But I always have a soft spot for the Mark 1 Sizzlers, like I've had a soft spot for so many things here. Anyway, let's hop on the Sizzler while there's no waiting. Okay, so I thought I was going to have to wait for the next cycle, but there was a family in front of me that wants to get on the same cycle. So I ended up going ahead of them as there was one car left. But anyway, here we are on Darren Matthews' Sizzler. Now, I first saw this at Funland at the Tropicana in 2020 when it was ran by Darren that year. And he first opened with that after buying this from Raymond Junior Armstrong. Now I had seen that at Nottingham Goose Fair a few times prior, but never got any videos of it. I believe I did once in a Twist compilation, but the identity of this Sizzler is something else entirely in comparison to what it was when it first opened with Darren coming up to 5 years ago. And a lot of showmen prefer these Mark 1 Sizzlers in comparison to the latest generation of PWS Twists. Like Jonathan Danter, but there's loads of these Mark 1 Twists in the Danter family, and Jonathan Danter acquired the one from Joe White earlier this year. I believe it was only last month actually. But yeah, it's not hard to see why, because given the way they operate, because these are very, very fast machines, hydraulically driven goodness. Probably can't hear it, but you can just about hear the sound the hydraulic motors are making. And what's interesting is the Mark III machines have also gone to hydraulic as well as the Showman's Request. They were originally electric drive, but David Rowland, I believe, because he was the first to request hydraulic drive, a lot of other showmen started hearing that Perrin could do the Mark III machines with hydraulics, so they started going, and it's not hard to see why, because given how torquey hydraulic drives are,
You want to do it one more time?
and they do allow for very, very fast scissors indeed.
Let's do it once, bringing more power. Here we go.
But this is a very, very fast Sizzler, and Ricky is running this very, very well. And that was the Sizzler. Now, that to me is proof that the Mark 1 PWS Sizzlers have really stood the test of time, because these can date back to, I want to say, the late 80s, because that was the period that Edward Danter's one was built, but I do believe that the Mark 1 machines are earlier than that. But anyway, because it's no wonder why a lot of people buy these second hand rather than getting a brand new one, because just the general ride experience is what I think stands for, and also the reliability of them as well, because they are very, very reliable machines, the Mark 1s. So you've got free fall over there. Might go on a little bit once I finish vlogging, but I don't tend to ride Miamis that often, because also the reason why I don't get on rides of Miamis is because I just don't feel they make very interesting on rides. And the reason that being because I think it would be very easy to simulate with my arm. But I think also generally, I think people get the vague idea of what a Miami would be like to experience. They are very, very good machines though in general, and very, very popular, and do offer a good ride experience. But in terms of getting an on-ride video, I think that it gives a very, I think it feels a bit pointless because of how easy it is to get a perspective of riding those. But there is, but also in terms of vlogging for this as well, I don't know what much to say when it comes to Miamis, because I'm still very, very rusty. I don't vlog that often, but I'm just trying this out just to see how I do end up faring. But there is one I do want to talk about, and that is the Daytona Racing dodgems, and that's because of the cars that were on these. But I'll mention what that is. There is quite a bit of a queue. I don't know what the wait I don't know if I'll end up having to wait for the next one, but let's check out the Daytona Racing dodgems. And we're off. So, when it comes to these dodgems, oh god, head on bumping already. Supposed to be going one way round really. But when it comes to these dodgems, which are the Bristol New York cars, I love these cars. I always have had a soft spot for Bristol, mainly because of the way they drive, the way they handle, and just the amount of torque in them. And they've got quite a lot of traction on the floor. Trying to get around, but everybody's just hope we'll get a good flow going. God, I'm trying to go around the outer perimeters of the track, but there's quite a large portion that aren't going one way round. Slow and steady cruise, baby. But yeah, when it comes to the Bristol, because these are the New York variant. Now these are the latest in the catalogue of Bristol, because the previous set before this was the Berlin, and then you had Oslo, then you had London, Tokyo I believe was before that. I get my history of Bristol cars bottled up, but I do know that New York are the latest and probably greatest dodgems that Bristol have made. Just the general aesthetics of them as well, because if I can get behind one, you about see the oh god, I very nearly didn't go one way around the track. I become the very thing I hated. Missed. Oh my god damn it, what is going on? Oh my god! It's perfectly clear down this end. Yeah. Oh Christ! That's the thing I'm mentioning about the torque that these have on the floor. Is not just on the floor in terms of whatever rubber they've got on the tyres, they stick very well, and there's a lot of torque in the motors as well, which means that once hit, it doesn't shift or roll back, which is very interesting. And there you have it. Look what you've all done. Yeah, so just to get a closer look at the Bristons, I never actually do this, and I better be a bit quick because I imagine they'd want us off the track, but I still love these dodgems so much. The design, the driving, and yeah. But is there any, yeah, because there is signage that does say one way around the track only, yet people do the complete opposite. I just hate the general public. Anyway, so Crazy Frog, that I do want to get to in a bit, but I do want to come to one ride while it's going, and that is the Wave Swinger. Now this is the type of ride I don't actually get to see very often, because there's not many of these travelling about in this area of the UK, and I believe I've only ever went on these twice last year. So I went on this one, which opened here, and I also went on the one that was at Paulson's Mark, and that wasn't a travelling model. So while it's something of a rarity, and while it's not so much common, let's get on the Wave Swinger. And we have liftoff on the Wave Swinger. Now just while I saw it go, I did see Sky Swing going, and that did have quite a handful of riders on it, so probably after this one, while it's open, I'll get on it after, well actually after Crazy Frog, well that will be a walk on as well. So I did notice there was a slight queue earlier, but it does make me wonder what the turnout of people will be like at 5 o'clock, wow, that's got some good speed. Yeah, so I do wonder what it will be in terms of people around at around 5 o'clock when my wristband does run out. But the Wave Swinger has quite some kick to it. And they're a lot more intense than people give them credit for. But quite a lot of speed and power. It's quite interesting to see because there was nothing in that car park when I pulled up, and now it's not full. There is still quite a bit of space left on there.
Please stay seated till the ride is fully stopped.
Yeah, so really good to get on a Wave Swinger because I believe that that's pretty much the only one that opens round this area. Because I know that Henry Chipperfield had one, but that got sold off to America. So I don't know of anyone any others that actually do open up in the southwest. So it's always good to get on one of these because there's quite a lot of power behind them. And moving on to the Crazy Frog, which is a ride that actually made its debut here with A.B. Morris 2 years ago, and it has improved phenomenally because A.B. has poured a lot of work into this machine, and when I get onto this you can just see it from off-ride that it has really paid off, and it's a machine that keeps getting better and better in the hands of A.B. So let's go on the Crazy Frog.
Put your hands in the air if you want to go faster. Put your hands in the air if you want to go faster.
Okay, somebody scream!
So we're about to get going on Crazy Frog, which is a ride which identity has changed massively when AB first got down, because the colours on the end of the cars colour coordinate with the character up there. But also AB has put a lot of work into the pneumatic system as well. So the pneumatic cylinders are new, and they're a lot smoother in comparison to other frogs that are out there. 'Cause what's also interesting is, I am curious how long AB will, hopefully the AB doesn't end up passing waves with this, because he is mining this really well and has poured so much work into it. But this set of frogs has had a very long history of ownership changes, and if you look at the list of, I don't know how much you can hear me with the pneumatics going, but if you look at the list of previous owners that this has had, there's quite a handful of names on there, because I think this has changed hands more than any other of this type of ride in the UK. And what's also a good thing about this is that it's a 14 arm as opposed to the 12 arm, which seems to be the more common one in the UK, which is a good thing because 14 arms will eat through queues better, so it's perfect for an event like Funderworld, and even more perfect for today with it being a walk-on and we're riding full.
Put your hands in the air if you want to go fast.
I'm actually curious if maybe we'll use the horn, but given the complaints from residents of that block of flats over there, I think he's probably been told not to, which is a shame.
Somebody scream!
So there you go, that was Crazy Frog, and I have so much admiration for the work that AB has poured into this machine, and it has really paid off. It is, I actually don't think I ever saw it in the hands of anyone, because I think that when it debuted at Funderworld here 2 years ago was the very first time I ever actually saw this. It did spend some time briefly at Barry Island, but I wasn't there at the years it was. I wasn't there at the year it was there. I think it was Deacon's one at the time. Anyway, yeah, that was Crazy Frog. So, yeah, Sky Swing is going. So, while that is in action, I'm going to quickly run over there and have a go on it because I love that Starflyer actually. We have liftoff on Sky Swing. Now the aberration that I have for this Starflyer is huge, because not just because of smooth and because of the general seat design. Mind you, I'm in the one for XL riders, but just the general ingenuity behind it because of how the tower folds down, which makes it so much easier, because this is a 60-meter Starflyer and it only goes on 2 trailers. I'll just point up at the interlocking system, because as the diameter of the tower gets shorter as you go up, the locking system adapts with it, and that's what makes this Starflyer so unique. All the way up. quite a few about on the downs over there. Car park is still not that busy in comparison to what it has been previously. But what's also interesting to think is that it just occurred to me, it's been 10 years since this, along with Air Max, made its first ever appearance at Funderworld, and that was back when the Mellors group ran it. And Darren took over it was either 2017 or 2018 that Darren took over from Mellors. Down we go. I'm glad to have got on this. I don't think I actually got on this last year. I'll have to double check back. Yep, that was Sky Swing. Yeah, so I go as far as saying that is probably my favourite Starflyer in general. Definitely one of the highest. I don't think because I've only ever done ones that are highest at 60 metres. I've never done one that's 80 metres. But with Big Ben Tower coming to the UK later on this spring, potentially that could all change. But the reason why this is my favourite is not just because of how smooth it is on the design of the carriages, but just the system that is in place as well, with how compact it is, with how easy it folds down, and how easy it is to travel. So a huge admiration I have for this Starflyer. Now, there is one attraction that you may have seen. I may have got it in shot, but while this is included in the wristband, I do want to give it a try, and this is the Misery Ghost House. Now, Ghost Houses, I can't remember the last time I actually did one, but since I've not done one in a while, let's do one for the vlog. Alright, here goes nothing. I'm very wary about this, and also I've just been told it was Charles Gage's.
Wait 1 minute, please.
Must have been very tense that somebody chickened out. Oh, the roof is quite low. Oh god, where have you placed the sensors in this one? I do want to put a light on my...
I just saw it. Okay.
Jesus
Oh, hi guys.
It's so dark.
Hi guys. Okay. What? I can't see anything.
I can't see. I'm sticking my leg out because I don't want to...
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Shut up. There's something right there. Hi.
There's no light.
There's gonna be a jump scare.
Okay, I can just... Creepy carnival.
You know there's a lot of one.
Oh god, this is so tense.
Hey girl. Hey girl.
Ah, so we finally got lights. One of the reasons why I don't do these often, as long with the ghost trains, is I get really bad tinnitus with the loud noises, as well as sirens and...
Oh, that's a great.
Oh dear. It's not hard to see. Why? I just want to. I can just about, but I'm trying to work out where my step.
Hi,
Are you
guys.
okay?
I want to get out.
Get out. So do I.
Where did I go?
Come behind me and I'll show the way. Just. way out. So just come behind me. This. Oh my god. Oh my lord.
Oh my god, Harriet, I can't I'm literally on my knees right now, I get you. Where is it? I don't remember this being here. I don't remember this being here.
There's the horn! Oh no. My worst nightmare is stringy.
I'm covering my ear.
I can see that there's string, but it's just the fear of the unknown of what's...
What is that? Is it here?
God, this is... I've been in here for 3 minutes.
Where do we go? This way. No! Oh my god, are you okay?
Thank
That way, keep going that way.
God, whatever is in there, I do not want to know. Well, always, oh my god, I just put that shot. Always end on a high. Oh my god, so there was Charles Gage's Funhouse, and I get there was quite a bit more of a thrill element to that than I thought. It was just being in the dark. It was very, very disorientating in there. So there's a very good thrill element to this. But oh my god, what an experience that was. Now, with that Funhouse done, there's stealth bomber just going off there. Everything, we're nearing, I think we're at 4 o'clock now, and everything is still a walk on, which is amazing. Which does make me wonder how much quieter everything is going to be after 5 o'clock when most people's wristbands do run out. But there is one ride left to cover, and I always do this thing where I save the very best to the very last. And let's go over to it. Okay, so when there's not so much wait time for what is without a doubt the most, not just intense ride here, but possibly the most intense ride travelling in the UK, and that is Air Max. Now this won the Fair Ride Euphoria Award last year for most intense ride experience. In fact, it's literally over there in the pay box. I'll just go and show it to you. But this, it won that. And it's so good to see this again. So it won this, and it's not hard to see why, given the general overall riding experience. It is one of, it's easily the most intense ride experience the UK has ever had. But let's get on the award-winning Air Max. There's something I've just noticed is that the fencing is in a darker shade of blue. That's definitely been painted. But let's just sit back and enjoy Air Max. disorientating bit. I'm definitely going to need a breather after this. That was. Oh my god! Now that didn't show the full potential as to what MX could offer, but still, it really highlights the reason why that is the most intense riding experience in the UK and why it is proudly displaying one of the awards. And with that, I think that's pretty much all rides that I wanted to cover in the vlog done. So the plan is, I think I've got about 45 minutes of ride time left, so I'm gonna halt the vlog for now because I want to do some re-rides. Equinox I definitely want to go back on, Stealth Bomber definitely, Red Devil definitely, and of course Air Max. So I'm gonna leave it there and I'll see you later with something I do want to highlight. Yeah, so now that my session has run out, I kind of want to get some food, and I didn't get a chance to get some food from this kiosk at the Festival of Summer events in July last year, but this is, without a doubt, the best presented food kiosk in the UK. It was recently imported second-hand from Germany after being purchased by Harry Parish and Lydia Matthews. Alright, not bad, there's Darren just walking past there. But yeah, I was... because I'm gutted that I didn't get a chance to have anything from this last year. I've heard nothing but great things about the food from this. So this was the Mandarin Chinese food. Apparently built by Mac. It was either built by Mac Rides or built by a family member of the Mac production line. But it's hard. I have so much love for this kiosk. The presentation, everything. Now all I've got to do is try out the food. I've got my eye on the sweet and sour chicken, so I'm definitely going to grab some of that and get some noodles on the side because I'm seeing that it comes with either rice or noodles. So let's get something from the Mandarin food kiosk. So this is what I ended up going with, yeah, the sweet and sour chicken, and there are some noodles somewhere at the bottom. Yeah, there they are. So trying to record and eat is not my speciality. I'm trying to see if I can scoop up chicken. So, sweet and sour chicken. Here we go. Moist. That is really, really moist. Also quite spicy. Another chunk of that, but temperature's perfect, and the texture of the chicken exactly how it should be. But yeah, that is delicious. After today I really needed this, so I'm going to tuck in. I'm going to put the camera down because I want to enjoy this. Well, as if I needed a good finish off to the day, that was definitely it. The tissue in there's just a few bits wrapped in there that either I have a bad reaction or just have some intolerances to. But the temperature was perfect. The chicken was so moist and tender. That was delicious. And that was definitely what I needed after the day I've had. That is a very easy 9 out of 10. So, if you ever do come to Funderworld, never ever skip the Mandarin Chinese food stand, because I truly regret not picking anything from there when I was at the festival of summer, because I didn't want to spoil dinner on the way back. But I'm not going to need anything on the way home or when I get back home. That's keep me topped up pretty much for the day. So yeah, very, very happy with that. So on that note, now that I've had some good bloody food, I'm gonna have a walk around, catch up with a few folk, and see where things go from there. So a little catch up with Ashton before heading off, and here we are in the centre of the Ultimate Waltzer.
Okay, get ready.
And there's Ricky.
Let's see your hands in the air, let's go! Somebody scream, let's go! Make some noise! See your hands in the air, hands up! Go on, push them up, push them up! It's fast!
Please stay seated when the ride is fully stopped.
It's absolutely good, you know.
Okay, so just about to head up after catching up with the Waltzer crew, and it's not even 8 o'clock, and you can just about see how quiet it is. Because on the Easter holidays, this place would have been absolutely rammed still at this time. And as you can see, there's not really many people here, which is very interesting. So, on that note, time to head outside of the park itself and wrap up the vlog. Well, I actually really enjoyed today. I actually enjoyed it more so than if I were to do what I would have normally done and would have get each individual ride on video. But doing this as a vlog for this channel, now that I've done it, I feel like I've got more confidence as well doing it, and I get more of a kick doing it. Now, as you can see Funderworld there just behind me, I'm going to try and continue walking just because I want to save a bit of time. I don't know how this is going to fare out. But I was amazed at the turnout of the fact that every single ride, well, almost every single ride that I went on today was a walk-on, and there were quite a few rides that I managed to do twice today, and Equinox I managed to do 3 times, so that I'm really happy about. Now, I was also managed to catch up with Michelle Matthews just as I was heading out, and the reason why for that being is in terms of why everything seems to be a walk-on is the amount of rides that they have and the ride offering. So that has really played a huge part in spreading the crowd out, so that it's much more reduced wait time for everybody. Because I also heard that the tactic also works during the Easter holidays when it would have been very busy, because I couldn't make it to Easter due to other commitments. But I'm glad that I made it to Funderworld in the end. I was worried that I wasn't able to this year. But I'm so happy that I finally made it to in the end. Anyway, I really enjoyed the setup this year. Equinox was definitely a highlight. Seeing Elliot Cubbins' stuff has also been a highlight, but general, it is an event that is so close to my heart, and it's one that I just cannot skip. But yeah, I'm just going to pause for a bit because I need to catch my breath, but I'll start resuming again when I'm close to the car. Okay, so I've had a chance to catch my breath. Anyway, I'm curious to know how the larger ride offering would have worked out during the likes of the Eid Mubarak celebrations, because when I came to the Easter event last year, that was the dates that I ended up coming on, and it was absolutely rammed. But unfortunately, Funderworld did not fall during Eid Mubarak this year, so I'm curious to know how the large ride offering would spread that crowd out. Anyway, so Funderworld, another brilliant event as always. Definitely get down to this if you can. Trying to work out how many days left of this. So it runs until the 6th of May, I believe. But I'll double check. It's either the 5th or 6th. But there'll probably confirmation at funderworld.com as to the exact answer for that. Now, in terms of vlogging, this is the very first time I've actually done it on the Fairards Euphoria YouTube channel. I did say in a very long video that this could potentially be a thing weekly, instead of the usual weekly or daily uploads, it's just something in general I feel a lot more comfortable doing, and I did feel a lot more comfortable doing this today rather than what I would normally do at fairs and events like this. But when it comes to vlogging, I do measure my words extremely carefully, and I don't want to end up saying that could be either deemed or misinterpreted as something derogatory or scatological, or could be a potential net detriment. So that I'm also very careful with, because of the content that I have been doing, I have been able to get a good relationship with quite a handful of showmen, including the Matthews family who do run Funderworld. Yeah, but also with my vlogs, I'd like to think of myself as somebody who talks about things from a technical aspect, as well as when it comes to be the electronics, the mechanicals, the way the rides function. So I try to make my vlogs educational in that field. With all that being said, that was the Funderworld 2025 vlog. Something very different from what I normally do out on this channel, and normally this would be the kind of thing that I would put on the Theme Parks Euphoria YouTube channel, but I just want to see how something like this does on this channel, and maybe if it does well, I'll do it at more grounds where it's more quiet and I'm not comfortable doing the individual stuff. But as well as that, this could also be a new thing in 2026, depending on generally how I feel and how the year just goes for me. On that note, thank you so much for watching, and next up, coming up, will be a few videos that I did get here from Stealth Bomber, Equinox and the Super Trooper, because I only got rides, because all the other rides here that I've already got videos of from previous years, so I thought maybe it would be good to give traction over to the older videos and see where things go from there. But anyway, thanks for watching, I'll finish it right there, and see you later. Okay, so that maybe isn't the end of the vlog, because these these fell out of my pocket. Oh my god, and I could not get in the car, obviously without them, because they're car keys, but they had an AirTag on them, so I didn't realise that the AirTags could actually make a noise until I actually tried it out, and they were handed into the main box office. Anyway, that's definitely the end of the video. See ya.